Hi, I'm Dori Borjesson, Dean of the Washington State University College of Veterinary Medicine, and I want to welcome you to our 2021 celebration of Cougs Give. This is my first WSU Giving Day, but I'm a strong believer in philanthropy, and I've learned that Cougs Give is all about expanding, sharing, and celebrating the impact of donor and alumni support. The importance of private support has never been more apparent, and I personally stand behind this year's themes of Cougs Help Cougs. In the past year, I've seen the power of the Cougar family to provide for students, maintain our land grant mission, and support Washington's communities. The College of Veterinary Medicine continues to be a national leader in innovative education. And our Diagnostic Challenge exercise, created by Professor Steve Hines, celebrated its 30th year of helping students learn through case-based scenarios that simulate a real-world setting. Today, you're going to hear from Dr. Hines, Dr. Rachel Halsey, and be introduced to a new but familiar face as we welcome Dr. Jeff Abbott, veterinary class of 1997, and learn about his role as the new director of the Diagnostic Challenge. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Steve Hines to start the program.
Thank you, Dean Borjesson. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today to support the innovative teaching programs at the WSU College of Veterinary Medicine. It's hard to believe we'll be celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Diagnostic Challenges this fall. When Guy Palmer and I first started the DC, we could never have imagined that it would grow into what it's become today, or that it would become one of the milestone educational experiences for our students. It's been quite the journey that has involved so many people, students, alumni, CVM colleagues. Likewise, when we started the Teaching Academy 11 years ago, we knew we were ahead of the times, and it's been incredibly gratifying to say the Academy has helped so many WSU vet med educators and contributed to the further innovation in our DVM program. As you know, these programs are not cheap, and so donations from our alumni and friends make a real difference. In recognition of those challenges in the late 1990s, I used $25,000 from a National Teaching Award to establish the Teaching Creativity Endowment. The endowment's grown incrementally over the years. It's one of the resources we use to support our DC summer students and fund our volunteers' travel to Pullman. In general, the endowment allows us to continue to operate and innovate, so we're deeply grateful to everyone who contributes, and every little bit helps. It's been a long, wonderful journey for me. Along the way, I've made so many friends, and I've been incredibly impacted by our students. I maintain that I've learned and gained more from our students than I ever taught or gave. As I come to the end of my career, I look to new adventures. I'm absolutely thrilled that the college was able to recruit Dr. Jeff Abbott to return to WSU and take over as director of the Diagnostic Challenges. Jeff is an amazing educator and one of the best people I know. I can't wait to see what he and Dr. Rachel Halsey do with the DCs as they take the program into its 4th decade and make it their very own. So I'm very proud to introduce Jeff Abbott as the new director of the CVM Diagnostic Challenge exercise.
Steve, I'm so thankful and honored to be here and to have this opportunity. I am so glad to come back to WSU after being in Florida for about 16 years. So I came from the sun and the heat in December to the winter of Pullman. But, you know, it really feels like coming home, coming back to the Palouse. And it's such a great honor to be able to continue this legacy that you've built in the Diagnostic Challenge, and this immersive, integrated program that helps students learn in a way that is unique in all of the world, really. It's really been important, and your relationships with private practitioners, which have been your students in the past, just like I was, to leverage those relationships and bring in volunteers that are very important for making this work. I was one of these volunteers for many years as I came back from Florida, and I saw the way that the Diagnostic Challenge impacted the students, and it was a dream of mine that I thought would never come true, that I could actually be at this role and take on and move forward the Diagnostic Challenges. The mentorship of these outside practitioners, these private practitioners that come in, are just so incredible. And that interaction between the students and these practitioners give them an insight into what their life is going to be like. It brings from the private practice to an academic setting experiences that they might never see otherwise until they get into their new roles as practitioners. And so I hope that I can create relationships just how you have in the past, and further those relationships that you've already built to continue this great program. And none of this is possible without donors and people, the alumni and the former students that make this possible with their donations, because as you said, this is not a cheap endeavor, but so worthwhile. And we know this, and we know that you have great support, and we have great support from these alumni that come back and volunteer every year. I am so excited to be able to work with Dr. Rachel Halsey as the Assistant Director of the Diagnostic Challenges. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do in the future to prolong and expand this legacy that you've begun.
And I am really excited to work with you. I've been working with Dr. Jeff Abbott since I started in 2012 in this position. As a student, I didn't have you as a facilitator, but you were probably around. But I've had the great opportunity to work with you as a facilitator, as my role here as assistant director, and I really am excited to work with you and see where we're going to be able to bring the Diagnostic Challenge and what we've brought the Diagnostic Challenge to at this point. So I am looking forward to what we can do with the DCs in the future.
So as part of our official handoff here, I have a few things that I need to pass off to Jeff here. So first of all, this creativity teaching fund that we created about 25 years ago will now be managed by Jeff. And so I'm passing off the endowment and kind of a symbolic pin that gives him signature authority. So I hope we continue to use those funds, Jeff, to benefit our students and our most innovative teaching faculty.
Thank you, Steve.
Also, there's a few more things I need to hand off. And so some of you former students know I had a long period as a pirate aficionado. And that interest kind of leaked into my teaching in some pretty memorable ways, not always well, actually. But for years, we had Talk Like a Pirate Day in CISPATH every October. And all the student questions and all the answers were required to be in pirate talk. Assuming you remember, Talk Like a Pirate Day eventually got out of hand. Imagine that with vet students. And so we had to stop it. But I do still have a whole collection of pirate gear, which I think that Jeff needs to kind of take on. And so, you know, if I put on my old pirate stuff back and my eye patch. And this is completely out of place to a lot of you guys, but for those who were students here for about 15 years, we had a lot of pirate stuff. Let me hand off to these guys. Here's a bandana for Jeff, one for Rachel. Of course, you can't be a pirate without an eye patch. And then, of course, swords. You gotta have pirate swords. So I think I've now officially handed off my legacy to Dr. Jeff Abbott. So, arr,
Hey, Rudy.
I know it's stupid, but that's my hallmark, right?
So now I'd like to introduce two students who have recently participated in the diagnostic challenges and let them tell you their stories. So let me introduce Leah McGrath and Sadie Wraith.
Hey there, I'm Sadie. I'm Leah. I'm a current third year, so class of 2022 in the veterinary school right now. I'm from the west side of the state, Linwood, Washington, so about 20 miles north of Seattle. And I am interested in small animal medicine primarily. I'm looking at doing primary care, although throughout vet school I have been getting some calls to do maybe a specialty. So I'm kind of thinking about maybe clinical pathology, systemic pathology, or radiology, but we'll see.
I'm a third year as well with Sadie, and I'm from Alma, Washington, which is on the west side of the state as well. I'm likely looking at a small or mixed animal practice upon graduation. I'd love to, in the long run, return to teaching in some capacity, but who knows?
So we were asked to kind of talk a little bit about how the diagnostic challenge helped us. So for me, it was a great experience. It was amazing. Second year fall semester is when we do the DC, and that's when we're doing systemic pathology, clinical pathology, bacteriology, virology, and it's exhausting. And that's like the first time we're learning how to write soaps, and it's just really book heavy, test heavy. And so DCs was just like a really great way to kind of break out of that rhythm and really get to integrate everything we had been learning into one thing for the first time. Before that, everything was pretty much like in your class doing that thing. But it was like our first opportunity to really feel like we were doctors, and getting to collaborate as a group and getting to know our classmates a little better in like this different situation that we've never experienced before. And it was a really difficult week, that first week. But by the end, I felt such a sense of accomplishment, figuring out our case. I had a really challenging case. We actually had the same case for our first one. We were in different groups though. And it was very challenging, but very rewarding, and taking that confidence into, the rest of the semester and then into the next round of DCs. I was actually very excited for the next round of DCs. And so, yeah, overall, it was just an amazing experience.
Yeah, Sadie, and we had similar experiences, obviously having the same case in the first one. And I actually got to have Dr. Hines as my facilitator for the first case, which is, I thought, really cool opportunity. But he got to see our group struggle with like all the pitfalls that come with DCs. We rabbit holed down different pathways, and he had to kind of pull us back. And we struggled the whole way. It's called a challenge because it was a challenge, but it was really cool to not just memorize all this information, but to apply it and to feel like a clinician, and to go through to have to test your patience and your ability to communicate with a client, because that was kind of our first opportunity to work on some communication skills with somebody outside of the vet school. So we got to kind of measure ourselves up in DC1 and then reevaluate and try again in DC2, which I really appreciated the chance to get another go at it to prove that I could I could make it through without getting too frustrated. But it's a challenge.
Yeah, for sure. but so worth it. And then, because of these like amazing experiences that we had participating as second years, we both applied to do the Diagnostic Challenge case writing program over the summer. So we did that this last summer, and we got to work with amazing group of mentors and students. That was my first time getting to meet Jeff Abbott. So super excited that he's here with us because he was great with that experience. And it was, because I got so much out of doing the DCs, that was I wanted to give back in doing the case writing program. In addition, I got so much out of it, and I knew that doing this, I was going to get just that much more. And, as students, we realize that there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes for DCs. Like, you can see that there's lots of moving parts, but actually being part of that production is just amazing. Like, the amount of work that goes into it, like, insane. And so it was really cool getting to be part of that and getting to contribute and, getting to really deep dive in the case. I think there's a lot of, you think there's all these things you're going to remember after vet school. And I feel like a lot of this has just been like a blur. Like, if you ask me what classes I took every semester, like, that's actually kind of hard to remember. But I will never forget the cases that I worked on. I will never forget rodenticide toxicity or visceral mastocytosis. They're going to stay with me forever. And I mean, I've already used those in third year now, quite a bit. So it's just had such an impact on me as a student, and I imagine in the future as a doctor. So I'm so thankful that I got to do it.
Yeah, I loved getting to be a part of writing the case even while we were in DC's second year. I thought, how cool would it be to create my own case and work, like, really dive deep into some disease process and think like a clinician, but think of it from a different point of view. So I was really happy that I got chosen to get to write a case. And while I was writing a case over the summer, I have a son he was 4 months old at the time. And so it really afforded me the opportunity to get to stay in the mind of veterinary medicine even over the summer, but also get to be at home with my son and raise him. So I thought that was a unique opportunity that I got to take advantage of, that I could work over the summer and also be with my family. And I felt being able to write the case, I felt it helped me still feel connected to my classmates, even while we're in the middle of being apart often, but getting to present our cases to each other, checking in midway. I got to work with an incredible advisor that really gave me the reins to make mistakes and explore different ideas and come up with way too many options for the students. And then he helped me tailor it down. So I thought I already had kind of an illness script from each of the cases that I'd worked through in second year. And now I feel very well versed in the disease process, and that for my case that I wrote during third year for the second years. And I got a lot of really good feedback from second years. So I feel like I got to know some of them too. It just helped me make connections with a lot of people I wouldn't have made otherwise. I loved DCs so much that when I finished the second DCs in second year, I called my parents and told them they had to be clients. I thought, my parents are dairy farmers and teachers, and they love to hear about school from me, but I thought there's no more incredible opportunity for them to get to experience what I'm going through than to actually go through it themselves as clients. And they were on board right away, and they got to do a case together this past fall and loved it. And they kept calling me and asking me, is this what it was like for you? Is this what your client did last year's? And I had to tell them that they kind of had to go through, they had to do it just like I did. They don't get any insider information. They had to experience it as clients. I think they'd do it again in the future for sure. They had a great time, and it gave them a special insight to what we're going through in vet school, because I can tell them all I want what I'm doing, but for them to get to volunteer and be a part of what I'm going through has been really cool to share it with my parents and my son. So I thank the volunteers, because getting to see what my parents did as volunteers, I feel like every experience I'm getting another insight to how much work goes into this whole DC process and all the different, like you said, moving parts that go into it. We saw one piece second year, and now I feel like we've seen so much.
Yeah, so just to close, I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity, just to have the Diagnostic Challenge as second years and then get to participate as third years and writing the cases. It was such a memorable and impactful time. So thank you to that, for making this program happen. Thank you to Jeff and Rachel and Steve and everybody else that's part of that team. And then, of course, all the volunteers. We're so grateful, and I can't wait to see how the Diagnostic Challenge goes in the future. And I don't know, maybe we'll even get to be facilitators someday.
I would love that. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thanks for having us here as well.
Well, thank you, Leah and Sadie, and we would love to have you guys back as facilitators. We're always looking for more facilitators. And as Leah mentioned as well, is having her parents come as clients. We couldn't do it without our clients. And so one of the things I wanted to, our next speaker I wanted to announce is Paul Graff. His daughter came up to us, Quentin, at 2015 and said that her dad would be a perfect client. And this was back in 2015. And Paul has come back every year, and he brought his wife and Meg in 2019, and they have been a client for us since then. They're always willing to step up for whatever case is necessary. And then like this year, they were able to step up for some activities. If I needed them to split up, they are always willing to do activities and be willing to do the DC and support the DCs. And it's great to have clients and support that Paul does give us. So I want to introduce Paul and thank him so much for his support and all the clients that do help as well.
Well, thank you, Rachel. I'm Paul Graff, and I've been asked to say a few words of why I participate and support this the DC program. As Rachel said, I've been in 6 DCs now as a client, and it was because our daughter encouraged me to volunteer to be a client. She loved her DCs and thought that I would be really great at it. So she also said that the program really needed a lot of people to volunteer more for the large animal client cases, and they've been using me in that capacity since I started. The DCs are an important part of the education of these future veterinarians in several ways. It exposes them to a real world client experience, and they don't get that until they get into these DCs, and it kind of shows them they're going to have to deal with more than just the animal client patient. They have a people person that they have to deal with as well. It makes them work in a team, which helps them identify and use each other's strengths in ways that help move the case along. It also causes them to use the vet school's visit documentation system and billing system, which, as I've discovered in talking to my daughter, they're probably going to wind up having to deal with in their real practice after school. So of course, as Leah and Sadie just explained, the comments and feedback from the students that the clients get also show that they really get a lot out of this experience. And so it's very worthwhile supporting it. But even more than just the students and the feedback that they give, there's the other people that I've seen that participate in this over and over. The veterinarians who take their time and volunteer as facilitators, often for multiple years. That the state veterinarian who's actually participated on several of the cases that I've been on, the number of the WSU alumni that come back as facilitators, and quite a few of the clients that are coming back year after year, that these kinds of things show me that the worthwhileness of the program is something that is shown to all those people, and it's worth having them come back, and they do it gladly. So I think that's about all I need to say about it right now. So I'll hand this back to Jeff. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Paul. And I've had the opportunity to work with Paul over the last 3 years as a facilitator on cases that he's been a client. And I attest that he is an awesome client and does a really great job for the students. I'd like to thank everybody that has participated in the diagnostic challenges and made it a success up to this point, especially, and he's off screen right now, but Dr. Steve Hines and Dr. Rachel Halsey. And I'd like to give a shout out to all of the alumni and all of those who have been volunteers, just as Paul mentioned, that have come back year after year, that have brought their expertise to the diagnostic challenge, and also to the many clients that have come back, often the parents of veterinary students. And what a unique opportunity for those parents to come and participate in the education of their students and their children, and to get a glimpse of what's going on as they send their children out into the world. I am so thankful for this opportunity to lead the diagnostic challenge in conjunction with Dr. Rachel Halsey into the future, and to work with Dean Dori and work as a team to keep this diagnostic challenge moving forward and growing and becoming even better and continuing Steve's legacy. At this point, I'd like to introduce Dr. K, or sorry, Doctor, I gave you a doctor. I'd like to introduce Kay Gleiser, the Director of Development.
Good morning. I'm Kay Glazer with the College of Development and Alumni Relations Office, not a doctor of anything. It's great to see everyone here this morning celebrating 30 years of our diagnostic challenge. And it's my great pleasure to work with such an inspirational team of colleagues. As you've just heard and witnessed, Dr. Hines, Dr. Abbott, and Dr. Halsey have done and are doing fantastic work helping our veterinary students become the best veterinarians that they can be. In addition to our fantastic volunteers like Paul Graff, they make this program a great experience for all of those involved. Today, we celebrate the incredible generosity of WSU alumni and friends. Thank you to all of you who have already made a gift in support of our programs today. We have generous donors who have graciously offered to match gifts dollar for dollar, totaling more than $20,000. And we have another $18,500 that will be donated if we can meet the various donor challenges available today. You can see each dollar challenge and matching challenge on the cougsgive website, but a brief summary includes for the Teaching Academy, we have every gift to support the Teaching Academy will be matched dollar for dollar up to $10,000 thanks to a generous alumni donor. Another generous alumni donor has offered to give $10,000 to the Teaching Academy when we see 50 shares of a Teaching Excellence Facebook post. Be sure to follow WSU Vet Med on Facebook today and be ready, because there's a lot of stuff on the Facebook page happening. And for Diagnostic Challenge and Teaching Creativity Endowment, every gift to support the Teaching Creativity Endowment will be matched dollar for dollar up to $11,525,000. Thanks to the generosity of DVM parents and DC volunteers, Paul Graff and Meg Grennert, Ken and Deb DeZuck, Matilda Montgomery, and Dr. Steve Hines. Also, 20 posts by you and others on Facebook describing the Diagnostic Challenge in just one word will unlock a $5,000 gift for the Teaching Creativity Endowment, thanks to the generosity of Matilda Montgomery. And in honor of the 30 years of the Diagnostic Challenge, a generous donor has committed an additional $3,500 once the Teaching Creativity Endowment receives its 30th gift today. The link to the Diagnostic Challenge and Teaching Academy page for cougsgive is included in the chat. And if you have any questions about how to make a gift today or anytime, anyone on the development team can help you, and we're happy to provide assistance. And yes, you can open the match by dollar amounts and by number of gifts at the same time by making a gift. Next, I'd like to introduce a special video created by our WSU Alumni Association.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Pavish, Executive Director of the Washington State University Alumni Association. Thank you for inviting me to join you during Cougs Give, a time to celebrate the impact of alumni and donor support. Across the university, our Cougar family is coming together to advance the scholarships, programs, and research that set WSU apart. At this time, it is my pleasure to present Adopted Cougar Awards and annual memberships in the Washington State University Alumni Association to Paul Graff and Meg Grunnert. The Alumni Association presents this award to those individuals who exhibit genuine loyalty and affection for Washington State University and fully recognize and understand that special allegiance known as Cougar Spirit, but are not WSU alumni. Paul has been a Diagnostic Challenge volunteer since 2015 and Meg since 2019. They continue to participate yearly, even after their daughter Gwen graduated. Paul and Meg can be counted on for any request. For example, they flew up from the Bay Area to Seattle to give their volunteer perspective during a fundraising event. They are always willing to support our veterinary training program, both in donations and with their time. Paul and Meg welcomed the philosophy of the program to, quote, embrace the process, end quote, and reach inside themselves to provide thoughtful, relevant feedback to our students. They are wonderful people who really do care.
Welcome to the Global Cougar family.
Paul and Meg, you have truly shown what it means to be a Coug. We are all proud to call you members of our WSU family. On behalf of the WSU Alumni Association and the entire university, congratulations.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, guys. That's amazing.
Welcome to the Cougar family, Paul.
Thank you, Dean.
Wait a minute, hold the show. I'm not quite done yet. We have a second Adopted Cougar Award to bestow upon one of the most beloved faculty members in the College of Veterinary Medicine. It is my pleasure to formally adopt and present an annual membership in the Washington State University Alumni Association to Steve Hines. Steve arrived at WSU in 1989, just 9 years after I graduated from WSU, as a matter of fact, and he never looked back. He has made his mark as a dedicated advocate for students, champion of academic rigor, and a thought leader in teaching practices that improve learning and produce outstanding veterinarians. He created the Diagnostic Challenge program in 1991 and founded the college's Teaching Academy, the first of its kind in veterinary medicine. Most recently, Steve won the 2020 American Association of Veterinary Medical Colleges Distinguished Veterinary Teacher, the most prestigious teaching award in the profession. His legacy will live on in the thousands of veterinary students he's mentored and the relationships he has built along the way.
Steve, I can't believe somebody who has been the official Butch is not an official Cougar, but congratulations, now you're an official Cougar.
So yeah, I just want to congratulate Steve on being a new adopted Coug, even though it seems like you've actually been here for literally ever. It's now, I guess, you're official as a part of the Coug family. So go Cougs.
Congratulations, Steve. This is a really great time to welcome you to the Cougar family. Go Cougs.
Congratulations on being an adopted Coug and welcome to the family. Thank you for everything you do for students and for WSU, and hope to see you soon. Bye.
Congratulations, Steve. You deserve it.
Hey, Steve. Congratulations on being part of the Cougar family.
Congratulations.
What do you say?
Hey Steve, congratulations. And I just want to let you know how much I appreciate being able to be a part of the Diagnostic Challenge.
Congratulations, Steve. I know this isn't as good as being Butch, but it's one step up the rung on the ladder to achieve your lifelong goal of being Butch the Coug. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Hey, Steve. Congratulations. Way to go.
Congratulations, Steve. Welcome to the family. I can't think of anybody more deserving of this than you, especially after all your years as a Coug. Go Cougs!
Hey, Steve. Congratulations on becoming a Cougar.
Hi, Steve. Thank you so much for all your contributions to Washington State University and the College of Veterinary Medicine. Your legacy is really quite remarkable, and we're so thankful for everything you've done. Welcome to the Cougar family.
Go Cougs!
Hi, Steve. Welcome to the Cougar family.
Welcome to the Alumni Club, Steve. Go Cougs!
Go Cougs!
Hey, Steve. Congrats and welcome to the family.
Hey, Steve. Just to show you my ignorance, I never looked into your background enough to know that you came from anywhere but Pullman. But, you know, you've always acted in a manner of charity, compassion, empathy, and love, and that's, I think, all the traits that are cultivated from the college, and you exemplify that.
Hey, Steve. Dan Hicks here. Congratulations. Well deserving of an awesome award. Miss ya, and hopefully we see you soon.
Congratulations, Steve. We're so excited for you.
Yeah, Steve, really appreciate being able to participate in the DCs as a client, and I think you definitely deserve this. Thanks.
Good job, Steve. Yay. Congratulations.
This is to congratulate you on becoming an honorary Coug.
Go Cougs!
Hey, Doc Hines, welcome to the Coug family. Congratulations. You've always had that Cougar spirit.
Steve, my friend, you are such an awesome Cougar. I'm so proud to know you. The entire Cougar community is proud of you. I know the people you work with, your peers, the students you interact with, administrators are all so proud of your DC program because it means so much to, again, not only our students, but to the entire profession of veterinary medicine.
Dr. Steve Hines, you are clearly beloved and admired for every life you have touched at WSU, and you have shown what it means to be a Coug through and through. We are proud to call you a member of the WSU family, and on behalf of the WSU Alumni Association and the university, congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. I am really moved because to me, it's all about people. And being a Coug here at WSU has been being around the best people in the world. During DCs every day, every year, the big moment for me is walking into that room with all the volunteers and looking around at the quality of those people and say, how did this happen? How did I become a part of this group of people? And I'm just really proud to know you all. Thank you very much.
Well, Steve, I have
Here you go. Congratulations. I think we're awesome.
Well, Steve, I have to add my congratulations to all of this. I have to add my congratulations, Steve. I have to say, there's not much more I can say after all that has been said. I will obviously say that I always thought you were a Coug, never thought you weren't a Coug. And it's wonderful what you've given to this community. You are a large reason, as I've told you, of why I even became interested in the position of being dean here. So I've mentioned that to you many times, and it's very true. Your compassion, your caring about teaching is outrageously wonderful. And Paul, I look forward to meeting you in person. Congratulations for being a great Coug. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, it's wonderful to have all these people who are drawn to our programs and continue to contribute. So congratulations, I'm glad you're here as well. We're so proud of both of you. One of the things I've been so aware of is our college and our leadership, our innovative education. Dr. Abbott and I were talking the other day with an academic council, and we were just like, you guys don't even know the reputation you have. You're not even close to understanding the beautiful reputation you have. So we are the champions in innovative education, and thanks in no small part to the tireless work of Dr. Hines, our new adopted Coug. This year's taught us so much about connectedness, the need to support education that matters, the need to teach our students what they need to know in terms of communication and doctoring, our connection to families, students, faculty, the importance of teaching our faculty how to be state-of-the-art educators, and all of that is made possible by our alumni and donors and friends of this college, for which we have so very many. So I look forward to a time when I can meet the friends of our college and the supporters of education that matters in the coming year. I'm very, very much looking forward to that. And thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for all you do for the college and all you do for this program. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.